time to make some noise थोड़ी energy के साथ. Now it's time to unveil Mahindra XUV 7 Make some noise. Everyone.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are gonna talk about Mahindra's new global SUV, the XUV 700. So Mahindra's XUV 700 replaces the very successful and capable XUV 500. With one glance, you know it's an evolution of that car. The XUV 700 is not only longer than the XUV 500 but also has become the main competitor of the new Tata Safari. The Mahindra XUV 700 sits on a new platform, which is a largely significant evolution of the XUV 500 platform that will underpin not just the XUV 700 but a few more of the 20 odd vehicles Mahindra intends to get out in the market by 2026. It is a front wheel driven platform but also makes provision for all wheel drive trains. In the XUV 700, the intent was to improve stability, ride quality, and give it the dynamics that would offset its high center of gravity and inherent roll and pitch. What I do like is that visibly the XUV 700 does not look much larger than the XUV 500. A close look at the dimensions in fact will show you as much. The XUV 700 is just a little over 100 millimeters longer than the XUV 500. They share the same width, but the former is now shorter at 1755 millimeters. The wheelbase has also increased by 50 millimeters, which provides more room within the cabin, as the axles now sit further apart. Ride height still stays an impressive 200 millimeters. The interesting bit is that Mahindra has also worked significantly on weight reduction, keeping curb weight to just 1620 kg. That is almost 100 odd kg lighter than the XUV 500, which brings significant gains in ride dynamics and even efficiency and performance. And finally, Mahindra added in all-wheel drive, using a Borg-Warner transfer case to deliver torque to all four wheels at the click of a button. This is not an on-demand system. You have to select all-wheel drive, and when it's switched off, power is shifted back to the front wheels. The torque split between the front and rear wheels is 60-40, with the bias towards the front, and this isn't variable. It stays like that throughout. While this does give it some moderate off-road abilities, you should exercise caution before assuming you could do all that you will soon see on social media influencers' handles. Too many will get caught out and you might not get what you expected. Instead, where you should use the AW system is in the twisties. In slippery conditions during the monsoons or winter breaks, into the lower reaches of the Himalayas, or hard-packed dirt trails without any serious obstacles to surmount. In these conditions, the AWD system will give you the confidence you'd like to enjoy the XUV 700. On the comfort front, the XUV 700 feels firm. On the road sections, driving the XUV 700 from Mahindra's Research Valley to the new proving ground further outside the city limits. The XUV 700 felt taut and rich. It has a European style of ride, solid without crashing into surface aberrations and comfortable enough to make any journey tireless. You can further attribute the ride quality to the 235 by 60 18-inch tires on the AX7 variant we were driving. However, there would be minor depreciation on the lower variants that would come with 17-inch wheels and tires with 235 by 65 section tire. There is an acceptable amount of body roll, while pitch under hard braking is strictly kept under check, unlike the previous generation of Mahindra XUVs. The steering has also been worked on. The XUV 700 comes in 5 exquisite colors: Red Rage, Electric Blue, Midnight Black, Everest White, and Dazzling Silver. New powertrains. Mahindra's new, much appreciated range of diesel and petrol engines, which we first saw on the Thar exactly a year ago, continues to serve on the XUV 700 as well. Turbocharged GDI and CRDI engines, however, make significantly more power and torque. On the 2-liter M Stallion petrol, you get 200 PS of max power with 380 Nm of max torque. That is a substantial gain, and given that its curb weight is just 1620 kgs. That gives it a pretty decent power to weight ratio. The petrol also makes a compelling case for itself because it is more refined. And you have both strong power and torque ratings that lend it strong forward momentum. The turbocharger kicks in pretty early, just a shade under 1700 rpm, allowing max torque to step in as early as 1750 rpm. So drivability is not a concern, and you would get a smooth but urgent kick every time you step on the throttle. 200 kilometers, by the way, comes a little stretch to this engine. I would call it butter. Just too smooth, that's what my father said while driving. We didn't get the manual transmission option for the test drive, but the automatic is a standard 6-speed Asian box with a manual mode. Shift quality for a standard torque converter is quick, though having paddle shifters behind the steering wheel would have made a world of difference for sporty driving experience. I'd assume this has not been offered to keep costs in check. The manual modes on the automatic also work quite well if you intend to drive off-road and need to hold it in a specific gear. All you have to do is roll to a complete stop, shift into manual mode, slip it into first gear and then proceed. Without coming to a halt, the transmission still adopts automatic mode and will shift into second gear. The second option is the older but evolved 2.2-liter M-Hawk engine, which is a diesel engine, and it comes in two states of tune. You have a 155 PS variant that will power the lower variants and a 185 PS motor that will be found on the variants higher up the order. The 2.2-liter M-Hawk also delivers 360 Nm of torque, but it's the 185 PS motor that is the star of the show. Coupled to the manual transmission, it delivers 420 Nm of torque, but with the automatic, it's been tweaked to deliver 450 Nm of torque. This is also because the diesel 80 is the only variant to come with an all-wheel drive. On the main display, you get intelligent connected technology suite that goes under the name Adrenox. It has over 60 built-in features that allow you to control infotainment and offline vehicle control. Rich it may be in sheer content terms, but the interface leaves a lot to be desired of now. It is a similar problem to what I saw in the MG Hector. Sadly, there isn't just an easy solution to make this simpler and less distracting. Also, voice commands have not grown so intelligent to allow you control all over these functions yet. I'm also quite glad Mahindra has still left some buttons and a control dial that allows you to control over primary functions like audio selection, drive mode selectors, etc. The feel of those buttons retains, for me, a comfortable space where you can precisely identify what you intend to do. It also adds that sense of security where you don't have to take your eyes off the road to look at the screen and execute a function. I like buttons, and the ones Mahindra use in the XUV 700 are tactile, look polished and do feel upmarket. So let's talk about the features. The third large area that Mahindra has worked on is the feature set that comes along with various variants. Taking a cue from their Korean contemporaries, Mahindra has made strong attempt at squeezing in everything they could into the XUV 700 and then filling in the gaps some more. Several of these features like ADAS are something only the Chinese manufacturers could offer in their cars at affordable price points, or luxury car makers in some of their high-end offerings. ADAS though works brilliantly, sending off warning signs that you are either getting too close to the vehicle ahead or switching lanes without indicating that another vehicle is too close in your blind spot via steering vibration or audio outputs. And it works quite well for a car that is priced in this segment. Add the multitude of airbags, stability programs, traction management systems, hill assist, etc. and you have a safety blanket that is just immense. I expect Mahindra will strike up another major rating at the global NCAP. Right behind the steering wheel, you get a digital touchscreen that is resembling to what Mercedes-Benz employs in their cars. It's a single slab housed behind shatterproof Gorilla Glass, split into two sections. one screen that displays all the infotainment functions, and the second is the instrumentation. The latter has multiple displays for tacho and speedo functions. While readability is good, it could have looked better. So, ADAS though works brilliantly, sending off warning signs that you're either getting too close to the vehicle ahead or switching lanes without indicating that another vehicle is too close in your blind spot via steering vibration or audio outputs. So, let's talk about the space management. This is one area where Mahindra hasn't scrimped on. The front cabin is massive and both the driver and passenger seats are philanthropic. They are also well bolstered, so long journeys or short ones won't be enervating. The middle row is generously equipped. You have enough room for 3 passengers on the middle bench. Mahindra has also made provision for the rear seat passengers to slide them as well as ventilation facilities thrown in to keep the space cool. With the third row seats folded down flat, the boot space is enormous. Fold down the second row as well and you could place a king size bed in that 1205 litre boot space. With the third row up, you still get over 200 litres of boot space, which is good enough for weekend vacation. What I also like is the way space is managed overall. There are enough storage bins everywhere. The one under the armrest is even cooled, which makes it a great place to stow away small bottles for a hot day. The wireless charging pad is equally large enough to slot in 2 phones comfortably with additional fast charging USB connectors as well as Type-C connectors for the rear passengers. The door pockets hold large bottles and there is space to slide in a small umbrella for rainy days too. You can clearly see there is a lot of thought gone into managing the vacant spaces optimally. And the first in segment flush door handles do not stick out like consistent handles do. They rest inside of the body of the car and come out whenever required. So here are the specifications. The XUV 700 clearly shows that Mahindra has made a major strides in every aspect of car making, be it engineering, design, style, value and what have you. First with the Thar and now with the XUV 700. Mahindra is definitely bringing a newfound excitement to the market. You couldn't ask for more at these prices. I'm now keen to see what the next few vehicles are like. But before you go and buy yourself XUV 700, I'd recommend you to buy some shares. This company is going places. Thanks for watching guys. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another video. And comment down below whether you will buy the car or not and what you think about Mahindra's new flagship vehicle.